Matthew 13:13. Dia tuta in parabalais autois lalo, hoti blepantes ou blepusin, kai akuantes uk akuusin, ude suniusin. Here Jesus is explaining to his disciples while he's speaking to the crowds in parables. And so we're in the midst of that explanation. Jesus says, on account of this, right, because of this, in parables, I speak to them. And there's a question as to whether this dia tuta points backwards or it points forward, perhaps to this hoti clause. I'll just translate it as if it points to the hoti. Because, and we're going to go real literal here, because seeing, they do not see, and hearing, they do not hear, nor do they understand. And again, we can't give a full theology of what Jesus is saying here because it's only part of the argument, but I'll mention a good commentary. You can go to bestcommentaries.com and see some really good recommendations. D.A. Carson's commentary on Matthew is excellent, so I just recommend that to you. But most translations, I think, take these participles here as concessive, and that does make sense, doesn't it? Although seeing, right, although on one level these crowds see, they don't really see. And although they hear at one level, they don't really hear. And obviously I'm adding in the word really, and we're adding in the word although, but we're trying to make sense of this in context. Nor do they understand. So there is one level, we might say, in which the crowds have a sensory perception that's accurate. But then there's a lack of true spiritual sight and true spiritual hearing and true spiritual understanding, where these crowds lack truly knowing the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. This last form here, suniusin, is from the verb suniemi, to understand. And this particular form that we have right here is just a present active indicative third person plural. We have another third person plural here, another third person plural here. So the forms, actual forms here, are not that difficult really, right? But it's understanding what Jesus is saying in the context of the broader paragraph and chapter.